So, what happened with Qatar? Hey guys, welcome to the next episode in the FM story here on FM 14. And, well, I've moved, and believe it or not, to Brighton. Yep, I know. I did not choose to, incidentally. If you're wondering, like, oh, you're just going back to your old club now because you're boring and unimaginative. No, they were the first, believe it or not, the first to offer me a contract. I'll explain what has happened here. Let's go all the way back to 2018. In fact, let's just go over to the World Cup. As you can see, we didn't win the World Cup. However, we are hosting it next. Portugal won it and got revenge 4 years ago as they beat Germany. As you can see, they've already qualified, which is amusing. Also, the amount of friendlies you have to play or just non-matches, because you have to make up for the fact that, you are already qualified. Let's go over the stages then, in fact. Let's go over the matches. That's what I want to do. Actually, no. That's what I want to do. 18. Right, so if we look at the group stages then, we were, of course, in Group H. And we got boned, to put it simply. Absolutely decimated by Portugal, Croatia. I mean, we're in the group of the bloody winners, for God's sake, Japan didn't fare that much better. In fact, they fared worse. They scored less goals, conceded. Well, their goal difference was worse than us, actually, so I would suggest they had a worse World Cup. Iran weren't too much better either. Yeah, not the greatest one for the Asians, let's be honest here. Egypt also. Did an Asian team win? Did we... Q8 won 1. They beat, I assume, Denmark. Yeah, they beat Denmark. Wow. I like Denmark, that's a shame. But yeah, Portugal battered, Croatia battered, Nigeria battered. We're all the way down to 67th. Let's see, this is the new manager. He's Moroccan. But these are the fixtures. And this is how we got on. We got battered 8-3 by Portugal. But you're not going to believe it. We were 2-0 up after 20 minutes. And then there was the unholiest of all collapses. Absolutely unbelievable. Ronaldo then suddenly decided, you know what, I'm going to start playing. Al Moutinho was terrific. And Mubaraka, who can play at right back if you're wondering, who's now coach, had a terrible game. The defence was terrible. And they were too much for us in the end. But, we were 2-0 up against the World Cup winners. So I can take heart from that. We then lost 2-1. A little bit lucky against Croatia, sorry. Perisic, in fact, scored the winner in the 92nd minute. And Mandzukic, I know that's what I mean. Again, losing, well, it wasn't a lead, but, wasn't a several goal lead. But, it was frustrating. And we got battered by Nigeria. We were out at that point, and I just didn't really care. So they played the absolutely brilliantly named Isaac's Success. Try and say that if you've got a slight step. But yeah, look, 17 on target. We probably deserve to win that game. But there you go. And after that, I decided to step down. I couldn't be bothered going through the WAFs again. All these friendlies, it was getting a little bit stale, so I decided to move on, step down, and started looking at club management. And Brighton were the first to offer me a contract. Why did they do that, you're wondering? Well, if we go to the Premier League, this is how it stands, by the way, in February 2019. The current holders are Chelsea, Man United, look to be on the way. 3 why not? They got 3 games in hand. Weird. Probably one of the most strangest top goal scoring top 4 you've ever seen. There are a load of interesting managers. Incidentally, you've got Owen Coyle, now at Arsenal. Yep, I can't work that one out either. David Moyes, back at Everton. I can't work that one out either. And Ronald Koeman at Norwich. I can't work that one out either. I really like Ronald Koeman. I thought he might be a Liverpool manager one day when I saw him when his Benfica team absolutely killed us. We were reigning champions then as well in 2005-06. And Simout, or our defender, who won. We were unlucky in the Stadio de Luis, but there was too much expectation on making one of those special Anfield nights that I think everyone lost their head. So we got knocked out in the Champions League, of course, and I thought that Ronald Koeman's a good manager. But if we looked last season, they were in fact relegated. Very, very, very unfortunately, as Cardiff just about held on. Well, in fact, we'll take you through a few previous seasons. They just about, I mean, well, look at that. Again, by the absolute skin of the teeth, as Derby was sent down. And the two Claret and Blue teams were sent down. Liverpool and Everton, they're both mid-table. Newcastle in fourth. I can't explain that. So what I mean, Liverpool were in fourth there, so I don't know. Watford were up there. Tottenham, and then we've got one of the most bizarre ones. Look at that! Oh, Swansea finishing joint top nearly. If it weren't, obviously they had nowhere near the same goal difference. Everton also finishing fourth. That is, I mean, yeah, City and United, fair enough, and then Swansea Everton. I wonder what the odds are on that. And then 13-14, the first season, Arsenal actually won by 3 goals against Man United. Do you know what? If you swap, let's see, if you swap Tottenham with Fulham and Swansea with Fulham, I think that could look like the league table. And swap Liverpool with Everton, obviously. I think that could be a league table. Also, it could come down to Arsenal winning it like that. Don't get me wrong, Arsenal are doing very, very well. But as is the way with post-Vieira and Henry, post-Invincibles Arsenal, they do seem to just suddenly collapse. I don't know, that's sort of what I've associated with them over the last few years, just this bizarre collapse. But yeah, so that brings me back to the point of, they were relegated from the Premier League, but now they're bouncing back. Well, they weren't bouncing back, really. Oh, hang on, I've done that wrong. No, what you have to do is this. There you go. I joined when they were here. 21st. What happened there? And obviously we've jumped up since. What happened? Well, Nemanja Vidic happened. He was the manager. If we look at previous manager here. And yes, you did see that player as vice-captain. I'll go over that in a minute. Let's see, landmarks. Where are we? Nemanja Vidic, they had Oscar Garcia, who is currently the real manager. Then Roy Keane came in and got them promoted, but then relegated after a couple of seasons. And then there's Vidic, came in to replace Roy Keane. I think they were going for a bit of a Man U theme there. He lasted not even 5 months. And I've come in to help steady the ship. So there's the transfer budget, 6 million, fairly respectable, but you would expect that of a team that has just been relegated. So how are we doing then? So the first game I played was the game against, let me find it here. I can't remember what it is. Actually can't remember what it was. It was the whole game. You're not going to believe this, but we were 2-0 up after 10 minutes and we threw away a lead. See, this is what I mentioned in the previous video. It's a recurring theme. This incidentally is a team, in fact I probably should show you the team before then. Let's go over the big names first. The ones that are standing out like sore thumbs. Alexis Sanchez, age 30. Fernando Llorente, age 33. Samir Nasri, age 31. Ezequiel Lavezzi, age 33. I'm sure you're wondering, how in God's name have you done that? Do you know what? I don't even know myself. I hand on heart will tell you now, there is no FM editor, no FMRTE involved in this. This was purely, I'll show you the contract. He is on £50,000 a week. We pay half that, so 26,500. No monthly fee. Don't know why it says 50,000 per week for duration of loan. I don't quite get that. I don't know why it suddenly jumped down, but whatever. Alexis Sanchez. I don't know why it suddenly jumps down like that. I genuinely don't know why it does that. Monthly fee of £14,000, £16,000 a week. Samir Nasri, £45,000, £24,500 monthly fee of £1,000. And Lavezzi, who we actually did buy for, I think, £15,000 from Independiente, is on, because of the after tax, of course, 25k a week, £13,500. It's unbelievable. I don't know. Mikel Anderson is the goalkeeper. Very good goalkeeper, actually. He's really good. I do like him. Let's go over the top ability then. So we've got I'll just say his name. Charis Maverius. 24, white winger. Good player. Does go missing very occasionally, but is still pretty good. Josh Vela, very good player. So this, as you can tell immediately, is very different from the team that started FM13, with the likes of Lewis Dunk, Liam Bridcut, who else? God, Craig McHale-Smith. All those players totally gone. The only surviving member is Thomas Kuchak, who's retiring next season. Ash Taylor, who I know Jake got a bit excited about when I posted his stats on Twitter. He's the captain, good player. Matt Jarvis, they've got him, 32 years old now, still very good. We've got Hassan Ali Kalderim, Turkish, left back, okay player. Ruben Rashina, they have him, 27 years old, bangs them in. Michael Hector, good centre back. Rohan Ince, not related, I don't think. Good player, defensive centre midfielder. Player was brought in, George Margarita, there's no way that's how you say it, but okay. Richie Delat was already here. Robert Huther brought in as a bit of a backup, he's 34 now. And as we've talked about, Della Ali, who hasn't played all that much lately, but will come into zone later on in the season. James Forrest, a player that was in the reserves, completely down on everything. When I arrived, I brought him back into the team and he appears to be doing quite okay. Lee Novak, a terrible striker, there's enough of him. Actually, all of these I'm not really playing, with the exception of Matt Tootle, who is dreadful. I have no choice but to play him at left back because Hassan, as you can see here, is out. Well, he was out for like 3 or 4 months when he got injured. I think he got injured like November, December. Dorian De Vite, I think is how you pronounce that. One of the worst signings ever made ever. Sim Vido is a regen. He's awful. Couldn't hit the door of a Renault Espace. I was going to say something else there, but he is awful. Rennie Smith looks okay. I think I signed him from Arsenal. And this Icelandic wonder-ish kid, Ragnar Marlarsson. I like him. He's a good player. So that's the team. Fixtures. Not going to go over all the goals. Well, in fact, we'll go over all the results. I'm not going to show you all the goals. 2-2 against Hull. Threw away a 2-goal lead. Nearly threw away a 2-goal lead again against Middlesbrough. Murphy, who I didn't show you actually, who is actually gone. That's right now. I sold him to West Ham. He got a good start, but he soon died away. Also, I want to show you here one of the worst players ever. Tom Essam. He's a regen. He's awful. Nottingham Forest 2-1, and then we absolutely smashed Peterborough 6-0 at London Road. Rashina, Jarvis for 2, Ince and Taylor. This was the time where I thought, yes, this team is good. Maybe I can actually do something with this lot. 3-0 against Burnley. Very, very unlucky against Blackpool. Tom Eaves, 93rd minute winner. I couldn't believe it. We were 1-0 up, went 2-1 down. Ruben Rashina brought us back to 2-2. I'll show you these goals. This was Blackpool, I think, were top of the table at the time. I'm not sure if they still are, but they were doing very well. So there's Josh Vela. Great free kick. Just bends it around the wall. Really good stuff from him. Enjoyed that. And then here's Tootle doing his great defensive work. Delat with, it was basically a tackle pass towards. Set him up on the 34-minute mark. Yes, it was a bit disappointing, but there you go. And there's another reason why I despise goal kicks, because players never ever win that ball. And there's Jamie Wood again with the finish. That's 2-1 on the 57th minute. But then popped up a penalty opportunity, which you're going to see in a second. James Forrest this time does win the header. And Ruben Rashina. Why did I say penalty? Sorry, I beg your pardon, but a lovely goal by Ruben Rashina there. And then 93rd minute, you know what I thought this was going to be? I thought this was a highlight that it was, when the referee blows up. But Forrest loses the ball. This is where James Forrest started to lose it again. He's gone all the way through, and I couldn't believe it. Yeah, Matt Tootle, 4.5. What a disgrace. Yeah, he was just awful. 1-0 against relegated Aston Villa. Ash Taylor with the win. 3-3 against Sheffield Wednesday, who were doing quite well. They're near the top of Hillsborough. Vela, Taylor and Rashina with the goals. 2-0 against Huddersfield. Taylor and Vite with the goals this time. And then 2-1 draws, this time against Crystal Palace. Rashina with the goal. And De Vite with the goal against Wolves. Matt Tootle again showing his marvellous defensive prowess. We did, however, get back to winning ways with a 1-0 victory over Bristol City. Michael Hector with the winning goal. We then played Sunderland, got our shit pushed in totally. Mavrius with an own goal. 1st of January 2019. It didn't go very well at all. We did happily, however, beat Cardiff. Ragnar Mallarison with the winner. I'll show you that one now. 88th minute. Matt Tootle also scoring, but I don't want to give him credit because he's poo. Michael Anderson. No, I generally don't. Michael Anderson with man of the match. 88th minute. There's Larison. Oh, it's Luis Suarez-esque. A header from the... I think it was a header anyway. A header. First ever goal to win the FA Cup there around against Cardiff. Marvellous. 1-0 against Bolton. Ezequiel Lavezzi. This was probably his first game. Yeah, I think it was actually. It was. He was off the bench. 50-50. It looked like he was heading to a boring 0-0 draw. This was the first time I played the likes of Nasri, Sanchez, Llorente. They were not match fit. Here's Nasri. It was like QPR, it really was. Lavezzi, he's only just come off the bench and won the game. Goal on the debut of Lavezzi. Get in there. I knew I had I thought I had a style, but anyway, still at his old age. Doncaster, next game. Vela, Rashina and Llorente scoring his first goal. I'll show you Llorente. I think that may have even been the winner. Well, I guess it was. It wasn't the last goal of the game, but it was the one that made it to Brighton. Rashina with 2. He's on a very, very good run at the minute, Ruben Rashina. But here goes Matt Jarvis. And Llorente could hardly miss, could he? Playing him as a target man, if you're wondering. And that needs to stop doing that. Alright, let's try this. 2-1. Sanchez getting his first goal, and De Vite again. There's a lot of good scoring centre backs. Hector, De Vite and Taylor all chipping in with their fair share. Llorente and Rashina didn't really have too much luck this time, however. 3-0 against Wolves in the FA Cup 4th round. Llorente with a double and Lavezzi, so they're starting to come good here. We did, however, lose 1-0 to Preston, which was a bit of a kick to the teeth. Alexis Sanchez had a bit of an off day. Matt Tootle, again, with a rating below 5. And that was the latest game. So we're due to play Leicester next, and that is how things stand at the minute. So transfer history, let me just go over this. Where is it? It's over there, there it is. Managed to sell £20 million worth of stuff. That's collective over, like Adam Reach here, for example, who I believe is actually, that wasn't even me, that was Nemanja Vidic. He also sold Jake Forster-Caskey, who never really appears to make it at Brighton, but he does, somewhere else. Let's see, who did I actually sell? This is all going to be January stuff, I guess. Kingston, Amiobi, Gregus, Essam. That's Sunderland's 3-0 loss, incidentally. I tried to fit this Jan Gregus into the team. He was shit, and I ended up playing 3 at the back. Never play 3 at the back against one of the top teams in the division. That was such a rookie mistake. It was unbelievable. Managed to sell Emmanuel Frimpong for £1 million. That was sheer profit, as we brought him in on a free a couple of years ago. And £2.5 million for Jamie Murphy. Thought, why not? I'd rather have Llorente on loan, and then we can do a bit more with the money once we get to the Premier League, if we get promoted, that is. And I spent £7 million. The most expensive signing was Josh Vela, but that was, again, a Vidic signing. And yeah, that's about it, really. So this is how we stand at the minute. We are 3 points off a playoff spot. Don't think we're going to get promoted, but every chance that we can still get a win in their playoff. So thank you very much for watching. I'll be back then with a season review for February, March, April and May, and we'll see if we got promoted or not. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.